Paula with Exercise 101, and thank you for joining me for class today. Please be sure to consult your physician prior to starting a new exercise regimen. Please make sure that when you're doing the exercises exhibited in this class, that you're listening to your body, you are taking your time, you're making sure that you start off with good form, and you're following through with the exercises accordingly. If at any point in time you feel uncomfort or major discomfort doing any of the exercises that are displayed here today, please stop, take a few deep breaths, and if you feel ready to rejoin, then you can rejoin, starting off either in a regress position, or you also have the option to not rejoin and just simply take a breather and let your body come back to its base state and feel relaxed before rejoining me again. Please be sure that you are wearing loose, comfortable clothing that you can move around freely in, as well as good shoes, okay? Good tennis shoes. Please avoid being barefoot during this class. Make sure you follow us on our Instagram page as well as on our YouTube channel. And if you would like to play music in the background while we're doing this class to keep you motivated, you are more than welcome to do so. I choose not to so that you can hear me clearly. If at any point in time you cannot hear me clearly, please feel free to turn me up over your music. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with our warm-up. We're going to start with our marches first, our low-impact marches, our regress marches. Then we're going to go to our low-impact kicks. And then I think we're going to take it to a little bit of a jog, a low-impact jog, and then we'll go to some stretching, okay? Remember, we're going to get the body warm first before we start stretching those muscles. So we're going to get started in 3, 2, and 1. Let's march. Keeping your arms at your side. Keep your hands by your side. Arms are bent at the elbows. Hands are open and free. Thumb is up. Pinky finger is down. And again, it's just a low impact march, okay? Nothing too strenuous for another 30 seconds. Good. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Good. About 15 seconds to go. Stay with me. Then we're going to go to our kicks, low impact kicks. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's kick it forward. Kick it forward. Remember, every little part of our warm-up is about 1 minute, okay, to really get the blood flowing, get our body warm, okay, and get our body ready to do our stretches, okay? Again, moving through the hip with our kicks. It's a little forward kick, nothing to overwhelm the body in any way. Good. We have about 30 seconds to go. Stay with it. Inhale, exhale. Good. Make sure your belly button is pulled in tight. And what pulling in your belly button does, it helps you to maintain a good form while we're doing our warm-up exercises. It also helps you to engage some of the other muscles that would otherwise be lax while warming up. I'm going to switch in 4, 3, 2, 1 to a little bit of a jog. Little jog. Good. Good. So now more of our arms have come up to a 90-degree angle. Hands on the outside. Okay, not crossing the body like in an X pattern. Just a little bit of a jog. And then after this, we're going to get into our static stretches. Starting with our toe touch. Good. A little less than 30 seconds. Getting the 20-second mark. Stay with it. 15 seconds to go. Good. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet are still. And what we're going to do is get our nice good posture going on. Remember, feet underneath the hips, standing up nice and tall, belly button pulled in, looking forward, chin hovering over your chest or over the floor if that's a better reference. And we want to make sure that our ear is over our shoulder, elbow, wrist are in alignment. And what we want to do is we want to hinge, so pushing back on our pelvis, allowing our hands to roll down the front of our body, only stretching to a place of mild discomfort, meaning you should feel a nice stretch in the back of your legs, right here from the upper part of the thighs, back of the thighs, all the way down, a little bit past your calves. And the farther down you go is the more the stretch you will feel. No rounding of the back, no bending of the knees. And then we're going to roll up and inhale as we roll up. Good. Roll our shoulders back. Wonderful. All right. And we're going to start our warm-up over again with those mobile exercises. So first we're going to do our march. Okay, low impact march for 30 seconds. High impact march for 30 seconds. We're going to go to a low impact jog. And then we're going to take it to a 30-second run. And then we're going to go to a low impact kick. And then we're going to go to a high impact kick. So the high impact kick, remember, we are lifting and kicking forward, okay, without leaning back. All right? 30 seconds apiece. So it's technically 3 minutes total, but 30 seconds for each portion of the exercise that we're doing. So let's get started. First with our low impact march. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Low impact march. Again, this is just for 30 seconds. And then we're going to switch to the high impact march, which right now we're in double time. But when we switch to our high impact march, we'll be in half time, so half the time. So it's not going to sound as fast because it takes us a little bit more time to get our knees up. Remember, knees should be about waist height or as high as you feel comfortable. Switching to that high impact march in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift, 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 and lift. Good. Right up front, keep that belly button pulled in tight because in doing so, we're also working the abdominals, okay? Hips, abdominals, knees are getting that flexion that they need to be effective. Good. About 10 seconds here. And then we're going to go to our little jog in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Low impact jog. Close to the floor. Feet close to the floor. Elbows moving back and forth. So a side profile of me will look just like this. Good. Staying here for another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now taking more to a run. So all I'm doing is lifting my feet up more off the ground. Less heel, more toes. More elbows, moving back and forth. And I'm just jogging in place. Good. Keep it up for 3, 2, 1, and kicks. Low impact kicks. This gives you time to bring your heart rate down just a touch. Inhale, exhale. Good. Less than 15 seconds here. And then we're going to go to our high impact kick, okay? Again, if the transition is too much, stay with the regression. In 3, 2, 1, and kick forward. Good. Side profile. So not leaning back at the waist, but staying upright. Looking forward. My arms have come up because this is just a natural stance for me. But feel free to also lift your arms so that your elbows are pointing towards the ground and you're more of in a fighting stance. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And bring your arms up. Inhale, reach up, reach through your fingertips before we hinge. And let's exhale, come down. And let's inhale, roll up, and let's do that again. And let's exhale and hinge. And let's inhale and come on up. All right, this is the hardest part of our warm-up. This is where we do 1 minute of each high impact or progressive part of our warm-up. The marching, the kicking, the jogging, and then we do our static stretches. So today, for the end of our static stretch, instead of just toe touching, we're actually going to walk out to a plank and hold it. So we're going to practice that as well. So if you don't already have a mat handy, please grab one, or a towel, beach towel, bath towel. Any one of those options work. And then what we're going to do is we're going to prepare so we can transition from one part to the next. And I'm just going to roll my mat out so that when we're done with our static stretches, we can go right into our plank. Okay? All right. So my mat is ready. Okay, let's get ready to do our 3-minute warm-up, progressive exercises, marching, jogging, kicking, okay, all for 1 minute, okay? If at any point in time there's any major discomfort, stop, go back to the regression, or stop and just take a breather and rejoin when you're ready. In 3, 2, 1, let's march. Remember, it's half the time. Good form is what we're looking for. And another option to do, if you want to still keep the same progressive form, is to slow it down. Okay? And that's okay. 30 seconds to go. 20 seconds. Then we're going to go to our jog. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's jog it out. Breathe. Inhale, exhale. Feet are coming up. Okay? So a little bit of a jog here, if you want to stay there, or come into that full run in place. "15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's kick. Breathe. In through your nose, out through your mouth, or whichever method makes you feel most comfortable. Good. Keep going. Keep that form. I know your hips are talking to you, but you can do it. Good. Less than 30 seconds to go. Less than 10. Now 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So to let our heart rate come down before we do our toe touch, so we don't faint or pass out, bring your arms to the outside, and let's circle. And just breathe. Shoulder height. And we're going to switch directions. And we're going to do that twice. 2 sets of arm circles. Changing directions. 3, 2, 1. Change directions. $15 more seconds here. And we're going to arm circle to the front again, but this time only for 15 seconds, as opposed to 30 apiece. 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle to the front. And you should be breathing here, bringing your heart rate down just a touch before we get down on the floor. Switching directions in 4, 3, 2, 1. Backwards. Okay, don't look like you're falling backwards, but stay upright. Shoulder height with your arms. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Put your arms down. Come to the end of your mat, your towel, whatever you're using as a floor covering. And you want to stand at the edge of your mat. Arms up. Belly button in. And exhale, touch your toes. Hold it here for a second. Then you're going to walk it out to your favorite form of plank. Okay? Your favorite form of plank. And you're just going to hold it. So if it's here on the hands, great. If it's here on the knees, that's also fine. Here on the elbows and the knees. Or here on the elbows with the legs extended. And just hold it for another 10 seconds. And then we're going to walk it back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down first before we walk it back. Place our hands on the mat. Walk our hands back. And you're either going to tuck your toes and lift your knees and roll up, or you're going to kick one leg forward. You're going to put your right hand on your right leg, if that's the leg that's forward, and you're going to push off on the mat with your flat hand, okay? Or bring your other hand to this leg, right above the knee, and push up and step back, okay? All right, let's try that again. So, arms up, inhale, and exhale, hinge, and hold it here for a few. If you can get a little bit deeper in this stretch by placing your palms on the mat, or just reaching farther down your leg, that's just fine, and it's also encouraged. Now, let's walk it out to our favorite plank. Whatever it is, that's what you're going to hold. Make sure your fingers are spread wide, your arms are underneath your shoulders, and we're just going to hold it for 15 seconds. Good. Make sure you're nice and long and lean. If you are on your toes, your ankles are at a 90-degree angle. For another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come down. Let's walk it back. And then let's come up whatever way feels good to you. Either rolling back and rolling up, or placing that one leg forward and rolling up, or standing up. We're going to do that one more time, okay? Part of our warm-up. Arms up. And let's hinge. Good, let's hold it here. Let's stretch. Let's feel the muscles in the back of our legs lengthen. Now let's walk it out. Remember, if you're going to go to your knees, come to a full plank just for a few seconds, then drop to your knees. and hold your plank for 15 seconds. Breathe. You should be breathing, not holding your breath. Thinking about your favorite things, not tucking your chin, looking straight down between your hands for another 3, 2, 1. Good. Shift your weight back, walk your hands back, roll back to your heels, and roll up. Good job. All right, so that was our warm-up. You'll see much of the same for a warm-up in the future, but I want you to continue to practice those things, getting the flexion in your knees, getting the extension in your legs, getting your arms engaged, and you're walking, you're running, you're marching, so that they're not at the side, simply just going for a ride. All right, today we're going to talk about lunges. When we lunge, we want to make sure that we take a big step out. It is an exercise that will help you stretch not only your inner thigh muscles, but it also places some tension and pressure and flexion on the knee, the front of the knee to be specific. So if you have any knee issues, I'm going to show you a regression, because we're not going to take out the exercises that help us flex the knee. We're simply going to find an option that works best for our knee until our knee becomes acclimated to the new moves that we're doing or the moves that we haven't done in a while. So I want you to know that lunges can be done in many ways, just like any exercise. We just have to find the right way for our body. But know that you can do it and it can be done. So for me, I'm going to remove my mat because I like my smooth, firm surface, and sometimes the mat can be slippery. I recommend you do the same if you have a mat down or a towel down, and simply do the lunge without anything underneath you except your natural flooring, okay? Or the flooring that is on in your home or wherever you're taking this class. So once I get my mat, my towel out of the way, I want you to know that we're always going to start in good form and with good posture, just like with anything in exercise. Form is important. It is the way to set yourself up to be successful. So for our lunge form, just like I've been reminding you, pulling your belly button in, that then activates your hips to squeeze your glutes, and then that tells your legs something is coming. We are bracing for something because it is coming and everybody needs to participate. When we do our lunge, there's a high lunge we can do. There is a 90-degree lunge that we can do. There are the lunges where only the front knee bends or only the back leg the back leg is extended. There's so many options. So let's review. A typical lunge is with both knees at a 90-degree angle, like so. So I'm going to place my hands on my hips so that they do not have to be integrated into the exercise at this moment, and I don't lose any momentum with them not being engaged. I'm going to take a breath, inhale, then I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to step out only as far as my natural gait, meaning when I step out, wherever my leg stops, that's where I'm going to stop. And so from this point on, I am now going to bend my knee to that 90-degree angle. In getting there, I'm going to show you that this is a regressed lunge option. If when you get to the step out and you start to drop down in your lunge and you say to yourself, or your body tells you, we're good here, then stop there. That is your lunge, and that's fine. If, however, your body tells you we can go farther, then what you want to do is you want to go down as far as you feel comfortable. You're going to see that your back leg, the heel is going to come up off of the floor. The goal is to keep this front knee over that front ankle, okay? And this can be your lunge. Now, I'm going to inhale and come on up, and then exhale and step back. Okay, I put all my weight on my front leg and pushed myself back. Something I want to show you, if you want to progress and get to that 90-degree lunge, I'm going to tell you that you are going to have to step out a little bit farther. Because if I attempt to, this is my natural gait, or my natural space between my legs, When I step out, if I attempt to go to a 90-degree lunge here in both of my legs, you're going to see that my front knee keeps traveling farther and farther past my ankle towards my toes. And I don't want to do that. I want my knee to be supported by my ankle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step a little bit farther. And you'll notice that I'm in a 90-degree lunge in my back leg, 90-degree lunge in my front leg. And if you do a 90-degree lunge, some things you're going to feel. Your back leg, the front muscles in your thigh are going to extend. Your knees is going to flex. Muscles in the front of your knees are going to flex. You're going to feel some quivering, some tension, some stretching, okay? Those muscles working. Your glutes are going to be engaged. Your hips are going to get a little bit tight to hold you in this position. Either way, you're going to look forward. You're going to have your upper body nice and tall, not leaning forward, okay? Nice and tall and upright. And when you're ready to come out of your lunge, what you're going to do is you can either come straight up like so and put your back heel down, or you can inhale and exhale, push back. Okay? So just like you took a big step forward, you can take a big step back and come back to your start position. Now, I hope that you tried these with me and found one that works for you. But if not, let's try it again together and let me show you your options. Okay? So, good form. Feet underneath your hips. Hands on your hips. Chest upright. Looking forward, chin hovering over the chest, and ears over the shoulders. Okay? Belly button pulled in, glutes are squeezed and contracted, and we are telling the lower part of the body we are getting ready to do something. Okay? Now we're going to inhale and take a natural step with me. Okay? Just one giant step forward. Okay? One step forward. Now, I want you to slowly lower yourself down without pushing your chest forward or leaning forward. And wherever you stop, wherever you feel the muscles engage and start working, wherever you feel the mild discomfort, that's where you're going to stop. And hold it. Okay? Keeping your front knee at all times over the ankle. If you wish to do a 90-degree angle and come down lower and lower, make sure you take a bigger step if you need to. And let's hold it here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Come on up. Exhale. And let's inhale again and take a big step back. Okay? Now we're going to do the same thing on the other leg. If you want to try another form of the lunge, by all means. If you want to make sure the one that you just tried is the lunge that's for you, let's do it, okay? So hands on your hips, looking forward, chin over the chest, okay? We are squeezing the belly button, pulling the belly button in towards the spine. Now we're going to inhale, take a natural giant step forward. Now we've exhaled. Now let's inhale again. And let's gradually drop down to our place of comfort, allowing the back heel to raise up. And let's hold it. Don't bounce. Okay? Don't bounce. Don't do this. Just hold. Just hold. Just hold. It's just 10 seconds. I know it hurts. I am not leaving you. I'm not leaving you. I am with you. For 3, 2, 1. Inhale. And let's take an exhale and step back. Ready? Okay? Now, take a drink of water before we engage in the next portion of that. If for some reason you feel like your lunge on the floor is a bit progressive for where you are in your fitness journey, please know that there are other options. Okay? If you have no major knee issues or any issues with your feet that's going to cause you to stumble, then you do have the option to use a curb, a step in your home or outside your home, some elevated surface, whether it's those stack of newspapers we talked about that you can use as a part of an assessment to step up and down, or those stack of non-glossy magazines that you can also secure together to help make or imitate a step. Whatever you're using, okay, that is nice, firm, sturdy surface for you to step up on is the same surface that you can use to do a regressed lunge, okay? So I'm just going to pull my step towards me so you can see an example. And I'm going to pretend that this is a step in my home, okay? And I'm going to show you the same thing we just did, okay? And sometimes, although to some, this may be seen as a progressive move, to others, this may be seen as a regression. This may be seen as something a little bit easier as opposed to something harder. So sometimes when you get elevated, it makes the exercise a little bit more tolerable. And I'm going to show you how. So I'm still going to have my good form, starting with my form. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get, I'm going to say about 4 steps from my step, okay? Because I don't want to be too close and I don't want to be too far. But for me, I'm counting about 4 steps. Now, a way to gauge it is you can start on your step and then you can step back. As long as it's not something that to cause you to fall and you feel comfortable, my both feet are starting on my step, and I'm going to take one foot. I'm going to start with my right leg, and I'm simply going to step back, okay? And that's about where I marked my step anyway. Now, from here, I'm going to place my hands on my hips, and I'm going to do the same thing I did on the floor. I'm going to bend my knees to a place of mild discomfort while still maintaining my upper body form, okay? Knee over the ankle, my whole foot is on my step. That is very important. And once I'm in that position, I'm holding it for about 15 seconds before I switch. So I'm going to come on up, and I'm going, since I started on top of my step, I'm going to come back and start on top of my step for my other leg. You have to be balanced. So whatever you do on the right is what you're going to do on the left. I'm stepping back. I'm dropping down. And I'm holding it for about 15 seconds, breathing naturally, not sucking in breaths or holding my breath, but giving myself an inhale and an exhale. Using my diaphragm, still holding my core firm. And then when I'm done, after that 15 seconds, I'm going to come up and step up on top of the bench instead of taking my leg off of the bench, okay? An alternative option is if you turn around and have your step behind you, you'd want to start a little bit closer to your step, almost where your legs are brushing up against the step. And an option would be to place whatever leg you want to start with on the step, toes tucked. And then what you want to do is you kind of want to walk or hop yourself out. Hop yourself out to a point where you feel stable, to a point where you feel like when you drop down into that lunge, you still feel comfortable, okay? So my hands are on my hip. I'm starting with one toe or one foot on the bench. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop out, okay? Again, if you have any severe knee issues, any lower back issues where that jerking motion or that hopping motion is going to give you any major discomfort or make you feel totally out of alignment, don't do this move. Just watch, okay? So my toes are on my bench, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to look forward, hopping forward, keeping my balance, dropping my knee down. My front knee is still over my ankle, okay? And I'm feeling more of a stretch here in the front of my thigh, holding it, breathing through it for 15 seconds. If I'm quivering or if I feel the quiver, I know that that's a good sign and I'm stretching a muscle that I probably never stretched before or working a muscle I've never worked before. And in 3, 2, 1, I'm going to come up. I'm going to hop it back. and I'm going to switch the legs. You find that you get a little bit more of a workout with that hop than if you did not, or if you did another form of lunge. All right, so make sure your toes start on the step. Again, try this with me if you choose to. And inhale, and I'm going to hop out with my exhale. Stop only where I feel comfortable, and then drop down and hold. Knee over the ankle, front muscles or thighs in the front, muscles in the front of my thigh are stretching. Knee is flexing. I'm okay with any quiver I have. Remember that. Keeping good form. Looking forward for another 3, 2, 1. Come on up. Popping it back in. Okay? So let's review. We talked about lunges today. We talked about several forms of lunges. Let's do them together. Once your body gets used to you doing these lunges, it gets them acclimated to it. So that it's not going to say it's not going to be as hard, just saying that your body gets more prepared each and every time, and you're growing and building those muscles each and every time. Okay? So let's do this together. I'm just going to push my bench back just a touch, so I have space to step out. Then I'll pull it back in place for the review. All right, starting in good form, keeping my hands on my hips, feet underneath my hips, at least hip width apart, looking forward, inhaling, exhale, step out, drop it down to a place of comfort, hold it for 15 seconds, look forward, and breathe. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, push back. Let's do the other leg. Ready? Inhale. Big step. Inhale. Drop down, exhale. And let's hold it. Only to a place of mild discomfort. Quivering is okay. Little shaking of the muscles is okay. Keep your balance and your form. And just breathe for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come up. Exhale, step back. Okay. Now, what we tried was, we tried a lunge on the bench. And right there, I stepped out to my favorite lunge. All right. As closest to the 90-degree option as possible. When you step out and you start to drop down, you are dropping down to your favorite lunge, whether it's high, okay, less of a 90-degree angle, or lower, okay, more towards the 90-degree angle, or at the 90-degree angle, okay, in the front knee as well as in the back knee. All right, so now I'm going to pull my bench forward, or actually I'm going to step forward towards my bench, and I'm going to show you the elevated lunge. So I'm going to put both feet on the bench, stepping up. And then I'm going to step back. All right, ready? Here we go. Inhale, hands on the hips. Step back. Drop it down. And hold. Do it with me, whether you're on an elevated surface or not. Breathe. For another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale, step up. Other leg. Inhale. Step back. And inhale. Drop it down. 15 seconds is the hold time. Check your form. Whole foot on the bench or your step or whatever surface, elevated surface you're using. Breathe through it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Step up. Now I'm going to step down and turn around. Getting close to my bench. And this is where I'm going to start with one foot. Toes tucked on the bench. I'm going to hop out to my lunge position. Ready? Inhale. And hopping it out. to my knee, gets over my ankle. Now I'm just going to drop it down and hold. 15-second hold. Don't quit on me now. Stay with it. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hop it back. Switch the feet. Toes on the bench. Inhale. Let's exhale and hop it out. And let's drop it down. And let's hold. Just breathe. Just breathe. Don't give up. Just breathe. I know it's hard. I know it hurts. I know it's uncomfortable. Just for a little bit. Just mild discomfort is what we're looking for. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on up. Hop it back. Take that leg down and grab some water. Good job. So today we talked about lunges. We talked about their effectiveness in regards to giving flexion and extension in the muscles and the knee joints, okay? We actually did some lunges with our hands on the hips, and we showed some options: regressions on the floor, progressions on the floor. Regressions and progressions using an elevated surface, facing the bench and starting on top, as well as our backs toward the bench and starting with one foot on and hopping out, okay? Again, with the hop, if you have any knee issues in the front, kneecap issues, or anything that would make you tumble or fall in that hop portion, don't do that option. Just to let you know as well, you don't always have to keep your hands on your hips, but when you feel ready, you can always do the same progression and regression with the legs for the lunges, but keep your arms up. And keeping your arms up also helps you to build muscles in your arms. It draws your belly button in a little bit more, and you don't rely so much on the inactivity of your hands. So when I step out, for example, okay, and I'm in that high lunge and I step down, I now have to also focus on keeping my belly button pulled in and not having my arms fall forward when I lunge forward, okay? So this is a bit of a progressive move in the sense that there's a bit more mechanics in it, and you have to focus also not just on your legs, but also on your arms and being sure they stay right by your ears and your arms stay fully extended, and you keep your lunge, knee over the ankle. And then you step back. And other leg, remembering to balance it out, keeping your balance. No more than 15 seconds is the goal. And breathe through it and step back. Very good. Arms come down. So I encourage you, once you get done, not done, but when you continue to practice with your lunges, hands on your hips, then go ahead and try with the lunges, arms up, hands parallel. That's how they look in the air. My hands are parallel, up by my ears, drawing my belly button in and my rib cage up. And that's also helping me to build the muscles in my arms, my upper back, as well as my lower back. Okay? Very good. All right, let's do a little bit of a cool down, remembering that each stretch that we hold is for at least 15 seconds. So let's go ahead and start with our neck. We are going to take our chin and tuck it towards our chest. Our arms are going to be down by our sides. Inhale and exhale. Not rolling the shoulders forward, just dropping the chin to the chest and stretching the muscles in the back of our neck. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come up. And let's take our right ear to our right shoulder without lifting up our shoulder. So shoulders down. Good form and posture in our legs. Legs are at least hip distance apart. If you want to come wider to shoulder width apart, that's fine as well. Inhale. Exhale. Shoulder is down, not hinging. And what I'm feeling is a stretch on the opposite side of my neck. for another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come up. Other side. Exhale, ear to shoulder without hunching up my shoulders, okay? Belly button still pulled in. There are no free rides for the abdominals. They also must work. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, bring your head up. All right, now we're going to do our shoulder roll. So we're going to shoulder roll forward, okay? Standing up nice and tall and roll forward. So pull the shoulders up and roll forward, okay? You're going to feel a stretch throughout the top of the shoulders. Then you're going to feel a stretch throughout the upper back and right in the scapular region, okay? So right around where the neck is. One more. And let's shoulder roll to the back. So pushing these two back muscles together. Okay. Being gentle with yourself. Stretching should not hurt. Okay. It should not hurt to the point where you want to stop stretching. You should not feel any stinging, tingling, or burning. And one more. Very good. All right, let's do our wrists and our hands because we use them a lot. So we also should stretch those muscles and not overlook them. So my hands are going to come out like I'm saying stop. I'm going to pull back on my 4 fingers of my opposite hand. So I'm holding on my right hand. I brought my left hand in front. I'm using my left fingers to pull back on my right 4 fingers. I am keeping my thumb open and not curling, okay? Keep the thumb open. And breathe through it. And now let's release those fingers and let's flex the wrist, bringing it down like you're showing up a nice new ring. And you're just going to push back gently on the back of your hand, keeping your arm at shoulder height. Good. And now we're going to release that hand. I'm going to switch to the other hand doing the same exact thing. So like I'm saying stop, my fingers are spread. Pushing back on those 4 fingers, keeping my thumb open as well, and my arm is going to be shoulder height. Good. Stretches being held for at least 15 seconds. So you feel them relax. Good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the opposite. Flex my wrist down. Still shoulder height with my arm. Pushing back on the back of my hand. Gently, not forcefully. Not focusing on the fingers, but keeping it right here on the back of the hand for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now I'm going to hold both arms up. I'm going to bend my arms at the elbows so that I can rotate my wrist in one direction for both hands, and then both hands are going to switch directions. Okay? Full rotation in that radial muscle. All right, and now switch directions. Switch directions. If you're a typist, if you're on your laptop a lot, if you find that you're texting a lot, great exercises, okay? Fingers, wrist, and hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Now we're going to do our toe touch just like we started out in the beginning. Looking forward, hands on the front, and we're just going to run our hands down. Feeling nice little stretch in our lower back of the legs, and going down only as far as we choose to. However, now that we're doing this as part of the cool down, you should find that you're able to go down farther in this stretch because the muscles were warmed up. Then we worked them out. Then we got some muscles being flexed and extended. And so now you should feel like you are all warm and loose and feel like a stretched rubber band. And that rubber band now has allowed you to go down farther in this particular stretch, your toe touch stretch. Why? Because we did it in the beginning. Then we did some moves to help us lengthen those muscles. And now we're doing at the end almost like an assessment. Like we're testing ourselves. Now let's inhale and roll up. Take your time. Don't move by. Don't move too quickly. Now, I'm going to do our 3 breaths with us. So looking forward, we're going to inhale, come on down, bring our arms up, and we're going to exhale. Again, letting our body know we are done. We're not going to do anything else. One more. Very nice. Thank you for joining for Exercise 101 today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye now.